Hole in a Box by C.S.R.
Chapter 17, Second Chances. Marla kept on staring at the pink dress. No one took notice that she climbed into bed with it, and without changing into her pajamas. When everyone fell asleep, she just sat up in her bed and lay out her pink sundress over her covers. She told herself that if she was brave enough to put this dress on, then she'd be brave enough to go back to Utrecht. She detested the color pink, but being a female orphan, most of the clothes you were given were going to be either the colors red, pink, or white. That's probably one of the reasons why she loved her black turtleneck so much. But now, Marla wanted to try and put something on that would make her feel uncomfortable, but that was the only way she knew how to bring up her self-confidence. It's just as Hamilton said she needed: bravery, self-confidence, and trust. Marla wasn't accustomed to any of them, and she wasn't sure how to achieve them. She'd figured that she never had these three virtues because of what she normally did. So if she did something different, like willingly put on a dress she hated, then maybe it'd be easier to obtain. Marla sighed, feeling sick to her stomach at the very thought of wearing her sundress. It was in such a nice condition, more so than all of her other clothes. It'd be appropriate to wear something nice like it, but Marla kept dreading over its color. Marla knew it was silly and childish to be acting the way she was, but for some reason, it was very hard for her to do it.
Come on, Marla,
she thought to herself.
It's just a dress. What's your problem? You miss Darlene and Jarvis, don't you? So put on the damn dress and go prove that you do.
Frustrated with herself and burning with passion, Marla started to take off her white clothes and slipped on her pink dress. With swiftness and agility, she climbed down from her bed and headed to the closet to retrieve her red dress shoes and box. Marla had everything she thought she needed, except for a plan. She stopped in her tracks and looked intently at the box.
Maybe I should play it by ear. I know it didn't really get me anywhere last time, but...
Marla looked at the box for answers.
Oh, to hell with this, Marla.
Her hand slipped its way into her pocket and pulled out her emerald.
Staring intently at items won't get you any answers.
The emerald seemed as though it started to glow in her hand the louder her thoughts got. Marla hadn't even noticed. She was too busy with her thinking.
It never has and never will. And you know what? Things actually have happened when you play it by ear. On top of that, your plans never go as you wanted them to, so just forget about scheming. What would I do? I think so hard about things that I let them slip through my fingers. Not anymore. I'm gonna leap before I think, because that must truly be the real me. The real me wants the adventure. I can ask questions later, and besides, you can learn by doing. No more waiting, Marla. No more being the victim. You are going to Utrecht, and you are going to get jobs to tell you the truth. You will fight back and stop living your life on the run and in fear. It's your life, so do what you want with it, or it will slip through your fingers just like everything else. Give yourself a second chance, because you have friends who want to see you too.
Marla gripped tighter to her emerald and shoved it back into her pocket and said aloud to herself,
I'm coming.
She opened the box and went through the portal. Just like before, Marla gently landed onto the wooden plank. The city of Alram was thriving despite it being 11 at night. Marla knew she had to tell Darlene what she wanted to do before she could go to find Jarvis. She knew her friend would scold her and try to stop her from going, but Marla knew if she showed Darlene how much she needed to do this, then she would stick by her side, if only to make sure she was safe. Marla raced herself to Darlene's cabin and knocked at the door. Within a minute or so, a very shocked woman answered to her calls.
Marla!
Darlene started.
What are you doing here? I told you to stay in Harmon's until I came for you.
Marla knew what was coming, so she knew that she had to say what she was going to do before she got lost in her friend's words and common sense.
I'm going to see Jarvis,
Marla hurriedly said.
And there's no stopping me, only coming with. I can't live my life in hiding and fear. If they're always going to be after me and they're the reason I can't come back, then I might as well lock the box. But I can't do it. You guys are my only friends, and I want to come to Utrecht. I want to see all of it. But I can't do that from home end. I'm going to talk to Jarvis. I know there's more to it than I've seen. I just can't believe he wants me to get hurt. I'm going to talk to him with or without your help. But I wouldn't mind if you came along. I'm fighting back, and I'm choosing to fight with my words. So please, Darlene, don't force me to go back to Homans and take this from me.
Darlene stared at the young girl in silence. She found herself at a loss for words. Marla bowed her head and then started to walk away. The woman sighed.
Wait. There's no way I can let you go out there alone. I don't want you to go, especially if it's for that smug Bilster Javis. But if you're going to do it no matter what, and you think you really need to, I won't stop you. Only if you promise that I can be part of your adventures.
You already are one of my adventures.
Marla smiled at Darlene.
How could I leave you behind?
Darlene walked up to Marla and held her hand.
So where shall we go? To the cottage?
I have a feeling he might not be there right now. I don't know why, but I feel like he's close.
Right you are.
Jarvis's gingerly voice crept up behind the two girls.
Clever girl.
Both of them gasped and turned. Jarvis was floating over Darlene's cottage and was gliding down close to them. Darlene got in front of Marla in a protective pose. There was a weird aura about Jarvis. It was malicious and cold, unlike his sweet and syrupy voice.
You've always been so keen and listened to your feelings. You've managed to survive this long, but why be foolish and come back, Marla? I can't save you. No one can. Christian will get what he wants.
And what is that?